Hello everyone and welcome to the Literary Gladiators channel.
Falafel Philosophical.
And today we are going to be doing our 10th Foodie book tag.
I love food.
Food!
And Happy New Year.
I like food, but I hate food fight.
But on this occasion, myself and 4 other people are going to be doing this particular Foodie book tag. Those taking part include
Larry,
Ari,
Andrew, Charlie,
and I'm Josh. This tag is a bit more of a recreation as opposed to something that I put together from scratch. This is the pizza book tag, as you can see.
Let's see how much I can shove in my face in one sitting.
Alrighty, just be careful.
It's hot grease.
No grease on me. Otherwise, I will have to take you to court.
pizza for it's not funny.
But
I'd rather go to the hut.
the pizza book tag was created. The original pizza book tag was created by a Mexican booktuber. The channel's called Las Portuas de la Literatura.
I like it.
And I translated it into English and recreated it by either using some questions or reconstructing them. So here we go with the pizza book tag. The first one is cheese pizza, a simple work that possesses much more depth to it. Larry?
I'm going to say Cannery Row by John Steinbeck. You know, it's not a terribly complicated story at all. Very simple story, but it's the characters in it that really capture your imagination and you know, kind of, I don't know, you know, ask some questions. I guess it's not terribly deep, but there's definitely more to it than just the quick analysis of the story would lead you to think.
Ready? Ari?
When someone says simple, I usually think of kids' books. Kids' books are extremely simple, but they have really deep messages.
I'm going to have to go with Ari on that one.
So, anything by Eric Carle or Shel Silverstein will fall into the category of a simple work that possesses much more depth. If I had to pick one work, I would say The Missing Piece, possibly one of the greatest kids' stories / poems of all time. I think The Giving Tree is another one. So I think both of those works are trying to purvey very important moral lessons. And I think they're definitely simple works that possess much more if you look into it.
Okay.
I'd also add the Lorax in there too.
So, yeah, I'd definitely be in agreement with Giving Tree. Andrew?
My cheese pizza would be anything by Algernon Blackwood. He was the early part of the 20th century, Gothic literature, and he wrote everything with childlike wonder. The Wendigo and the Willows is his best known work. It's up there in the best of horror, but when I first hear simple, I think Algernon Blackwood's because it's simple, and he did write a children's book, but I'm gonna have to go with The Centaur because it has to do with a father and a son and kind of their cosmic experience of being.
I do need to get into him. Well, I heard of him, but I need to read him.
Not a dud amongst any of his output.
Charlie?
Well, I'm going to have to agree with Ari with children's books, but here's what I'm going to say. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going to go with William Blake, Songs of Innocence. For those of you that know, there's Songs of Innocence, Songs of Experience, you know. Songs of Innocence, everything's happy, you know, we're all doing things, we're all happy. Okay, great. Songs of Experience, as we know, or some of us may not know, I learned a few years ago. It's like, well, there's a whole different meaning. So you got to really read into the text. So, and the reason I say children's, you know, why children might fall into this, or children's literature may fall into this, is because a lot of them are children's the character, shall we say. For lack of I just ate 3 pieces of pizza in the car warming up. So if there's any missing, I'm sorry. Just kidding. But I'm going to go with William Blake's. And just in general, William Blake. Great. Very, for me, he's very accessible. For the most part, there's some poems and works I have to say to myself, maybe if I do what they did back then, I'll learn more about this. But then I realize, with Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience, you got to really read into it. It's like you really dig in, like I'm about to do right now.
Oh, sounds like a good idea.
Don't judge me. Only God can judge me. I actually say that at work, and people look at me like, "Who are you? What are you, nuts?" Yes, I am.
My choice is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. I think that the concept of Alice engaging on basic, on what seems like a basic trip down the rabbit hole and coming across these odd characters.
I like the part where I don't have a speech impairment. I'm eating too much pizza at once. When there's the scene where it says "Eat me"
Oh, okay.
or "Drink me."
And she grows and shrinks.
There's a lot of great characters. Humpty Dumpty, there's Tweedledee, Tweedledum, there's Cheshire Cat's my favorite.
And then all the cards.
Alan Rickman, rest in peace.
The best part about that novel is the fact that you have to stop and think before you say that one or more individuals is odd and strange, because there's
Think about that for the new
so
readers.
much more that defines odd and strange. What we do, people could deem as being odd. Next one is pepperoni, and that is
Not kosher.
something that I'm eating.
It is not kosher. It is not okay.
Well, watch this. No, I don't want to offend anybody.
Not everybody at the table eats kosher. Only you, Ari.
Only me.
You're a lone wolf in that case.
Woo!
Okay. A well-known, continuously popular work, and we'll start with you, Ari.
Oh, now I get to start the thing too. Okay. A well-known well, you know what? One of my favorite books as a kid, and still even as an adult, I still read these books. I think Goosebumps is one of the best book series out there. I think R.L. Stine does a wonderful job writing them. I feel that every book is always different unless it's a sequel. Even the sequels are different from the originals. Like Deep Trouble and Deep Trouble 2, both of them are good, both of them are different. Monster Gods 1, 2, 3, and 4, all of them are different from each other in a certain way, and they're all really, really good. And then you have ones like Calling All Creeps, where it's at the end, so the ending's very twisty. So I really do enjoy Goosebumps.
Andrew?
Well, if in the strictest sense of it, I don't read anything serial. Mostly, so something that's continually popular, seems to touch upon each generation, is the beats. So I would say Naked Lunch, because that seems to be hot every X amount of years.
Thankfully, it's evening around here. So,
so fully clothed dinner.
Charlie?
yes,
What's your answer?
my answer. Your Honor, right. What was the
Objection!
A well-known, continuously popular work.
I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Thomas the Tank Engine. I've been watching this show since I was old enough to even walk, before I even knew what a TV was.
I heard Eddie Redmayne is in Thomas the Tank Engine these days.
I think so, or a narrator. The show Shiny Time Station as well, and I've been actually. I'm going to digress real quickly here. George Carlin and Ringo Starr, obviously two different narrators, but what I'm trying to say is, George Carlin, we know what he's really known for, but
Some words you can't say on television.
Exactly, I don't know what they are, but the way he was with the kids, during an interview, he said, "I wanted to show people a different side of me," and I think he really enjoyed it, personally.
He was the best narrator.
And I met Ringo Starr a few years when I was 13, but that's a whole nother segment from here. Back at ya.
Alrighty. My choice,
They
even
would
though
let me nail the drums.
I could use Alice's Adventures in Wonderland for this too, but I'm going to go with East of Eden by John Steinbeck.
Ooh. Now wait, is there
Because-
West of Eden? He's getting mad. I should shut my fat mouth.
There would be a west of, of course.
Well,
But
north and south, and
with regard to east of, I think that it is just this timeless work that can, that is a retelling of the book of Genesis
oh yeah,
in its own, on a completely different but completely breathtaking canvas. And I feel that with it's since it's an adaptation of a work in the Bible, and it was Steinbeck's magnum opus from back in the 50s. It is so, you can read it today and people are raving about it just as much. I remember in my English 2 class, it was one of the options that we could choose to do a report on, and it was clearly the most popular choice.
in the beginning, God created man. God created light. He said, "Let there be light."
Yeah.
All right.
And it talks about the great flaws of humanity in general. And what's your answer, Larry?
I was going to take a cue from Andrew over there and say on the road, because I agree, the beats do seem to be perpetually in the mind of American consciousness. So on the road is how I got introduced to them because of a friend of mine. It wasn't like institutional learning or anything. It was just a friend of mine said, "I love this book," and recommended it to me, so I read it. And I said, "Wow!" And then it opened me up to the whole beat movement. So that's my pick.
Next one is Mushroom, a textbook you found engaging. Andrew?
I did have a favorite textbook, and I don't know who the writer or editor was, but it was for C++ computer programming, and it wasn't the programming, but like the annotated margins had historical anecdotes of the scientists and some pretty interesting predicaments. So I still have it, and I still look through it once in a while. But yeah, I do have a favorite textbook, and it's for C++.
Charlie?
I have several, but I'm gonna have to pick one because I've had this the longest, and it's seen better days, shall we say. It's called The Drum Book. It was written. It was completed over 20 years ago. Actually, yeah, 20 years ago, 1997. Jeff Nichols, British author, drummer, takes you from the history of the rock drum kit. But like I said, it only goes from the 1920s up to the 1990s because I got it when I was 9. I'm like, oh, bye! But I'm gonna have to go with that because it goes into the historical. Why drums are so important now in rock and roll and this, that, and the other thing. And even the parts of the drums. The little lugs, for those of you that are musicians and that know the parts of the drums, the lugs, there's a gentleman who invented several parts that go inside that little lug to keep the, on the side of the drum, to keep the, the head on. There's like 16,000, I'm thinking cars now. There's like about 8 parts in there that all work together just to keep that drum head on. Check it out.
Dr. Steve Rule.
I'm going to say the Norton Anthologies because
Oh, yeah.
I think that they are really, not only are they
What did you say?
the Norton Anthologies
Okay.
for literature, American,
British?
and world literature.
Oh, yes.
And I like the fact that they not just have so many great works in them of all kinds, whether they be poetry, prose, or short novels, but they also provide background to periods of time and backgrounds on all of the writers that are featured. So you learn so much and get a great sampling of each of them.
I don't like mushrooms.
Most literature classes,
Neither do
unless it's mushroom soup, puree.
Some soup, yeah, some mushroom soup.
So,
I like all kinds of mushrooms.
Don't eat the ones in the background, in the backyard. Trust
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Trust
Don't
me.
eat mushrooms.
I like all kinds of
around.
edible mushrooms. Let's put it down.
Yeah, I was little. I didn't know any better. Ooh, candy.
well, then, Larry, what's your answer?
Again, like Andrew, I don't remember the name
Don't know the answer to the question, mommy.
or author of this particular book, but there is a book. I like your answer too, Josh. The anthologies are great. But there was a book that I had to read just a year ago for my computer science curriculum, and I don't remember what it was called, but it was
Must
basically.
have been a good book then.
Was
Yeah,
it
I
C++?
know. It's a textbook. No, it wasn't C++. It's a book that covers everything from teaching binary algebra, and then it goes on to teaching you like simple circuit design, and then by the end of the book, you can actually like design an entire computer. And it's not a very long book. It's only like 300 pages, but it takes you through the whole process. And the class that went around it pretty much taught right from the book, and the book, you had to live with in order to pass the class. So it was really a good book because again, it had all that information in it, but it really wasn't much thicker than that. So it was like, yeah,
If it's that meaningful, then that's what matters.
yeah.
All right.
So, I love Orson Welles. And last semester, I took a once-in-a-lifetime class at my school that was all about Orson Welles. It was called Orson Welles 101. And the textbook that we had in that class was called The Magic of Orson Welles. And it's extremely informative. It explains all the way from War of the Worlds all the way to F is for Fake. So it goes through his entire career. Also did like Touch of Evil, The Stranger.
1984?
That's George Orwell.
I know.
No, this is Orson Welles.
I'm sorry, I get those two confused all the time. They're similar. It was a good
So
year.
it was all about Orson Welles' history, and it was very interesting. It also went into it's called The Magic because Orson Welles was a magician, so it's just a very interesting book.
Next one is Sausage.
That's awesome.
A literary work that has just the right dose of a particular genre. And Charlie, you begin.
Sausage is good, but I don't like it as much. A literary work that has just enough of a certain genre. Oh boy, let's see. I can either say Harry Potter. Let's go with Harry Potter because that's mostly I think that's fantasy, sci-fi. The Hunger Games as well. We can go with the Hunger Games. I haven't read the rest of the trilogy, but the Hunger Games, they have, for me, that's like watching. And I don't watch TV, but it's like watching those people try to get through those obstacles and then they fall in the water, like myself. Even though I don't even do those things.
I think American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah. But I'm on a line with Harry Potter and the Hunger Games trilogy, Mockingjay. And from what I've heard, not so good reviews on the rest of them. I think she just kept writing just to write. That's what I've been hearing.
Mockingjay was among the worst.
I only read the Hunger Games.
I chose The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka.
Oh, please don't do that.
I feel that...
oh, yeah.
I think that Kafka has been deemed as he's a great literary figure.
Oh, yeah.
And he's also been classified as writing works of horror, which I think that he has that right amount of execution that he is able to deliver a knockout punch without having to do so much. He just makes the environment uneasy as is, and with the idea of this man turning into a giant insect is just
He had men applause.
is just something that's very eerie in a way.
Yeah, pepperoni.
And the environment within itself is just uneasy. All right.
I'm going to say Norwegian Wood. It's a Harakumi Murakami, right? Did I say it all right?
Haruki Murakami.
Murakami?
I might have added one or two more syllables than they're necessary.
Yeah, I can't pronounce it either.
But, the
I do
point
my best.
that I'm making is that it's a good book, and it is nowhere near the magical realism that he uses in that book. Is nowhere near as pronounced as it is in some of his other works that I hear of. I mean, I've read one other one, and there was a lot more of it in there. But this one's just got a little bit, and I am critiquing your belch. It's a little bit of garlic, but not too much.
All right.
No.
Yeah.
No. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the magical realism. There's just a couple of scenes in there where things just kind of melt away and become unreal in an objective sense, and that is it's done really well, I think, in that book, real artfully, because of the fact that it's not overdone. That's all I'm going to say.
That's definitely what matters. Ari?
Murder on the Orient Express. Enough said.
Alrighty. Andrew?
Lovecraft, anything by him, it's the perfect amount of darkness, myth, and madness. Yeah, that's...
A lot of lists. Lovecraft is deemed the greatest horror writer of all time.
Yeah, he's my bread and butter. Yeah,
I love bread and butter.
Yeah, it's
I do want
good
to.
stuff.
He's somebody I do want to read.
But yeah, that's the yeah.
The next one is Extra Cheese, a work that was longer than it needed to be, and my choice is the Hunger Games trilogy. I say it several times that the Hunger Games would have been perfect if they just slightly extended the first book so that there could have been a conclusion to it, and it would have been perfect just the way it was. No need for Catching Fire, no need for Mockingjay. To me, they were just pop willers.
Well, Catching Fire is very easy to do if you're not careful.
For you, I would think. Already. Larry?
Yeah, I'm going to go with John Steinbeck's The Grapes of Wrath. And that's just because I'm tired of hearing about this stupid turtle.
What turtle? Oh yes, that's right.
Oh, we're going to be talking about the turtle in our discussion of The Grapes of Wrath for
If you mention that
Literary
movie
Gladiators.
ever again,
Is it?
and we discuss the kind of purpose that the turtle may serve.
Yeah.
I like turtles.
And I despise the Master of Disguise as well. I think that it was it was pointless, I would say, and very annoying.
Look what I started.
All right.
yeah. So Extra Cheese, a work that was longer than needed to be. The last 3 Harry Potter books were too long. Too many characters, too long in length, ruined the series. Enough said.
Andrew?
Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. It could easily also be The Fountainhead. Yeah.
Both of them.
You just think that her work, she can say...
I read both of them, and at the time that I read them, I enjoyed them. I would never read them again, but yeah, a little too diatribe-y. But they also kind of interchangeable, like Reardon, Rourke, and the protagonists are really similar in both cases. But the only takeaway I got from both books is it was unnecessarily long.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was a story there, and it's kind of a third of the book's size. Yeah, I think maybe it was a little too political heavy, but too.
You can see that being the
But
case.
yeah, those two.
Charlie?
College textbooks, and I'm saying this from experience. First of all, who uses them? But I mean, we use them, but
Except apparently for C++.
well, I don't know. I don't know what this is C++. And the reason I say that is some college text, and you know, I think we were talking about this earlier. You know, with the C++, and I think someone else mentioned a book for college related or whatnot. Okay, so what's that? I had a textbook that we used maybe twice, and this was for a literature. Literature. This was actually for a communication course. I took it was an elective. The book was roughly 200. We used it maybe about 2 or 3 times. I took it back. I thought I did get half my. I got 150 back, so I did. I swallowed the $50 just for the sake of it. But you know, and the book was incredibly. You know, I didn't even read the whole thing, but I still know how to, you know, de-escalate a situation.